everybody. What's up? What's up? Welcome to Rama Screen YouTube channel. Let's make sure we live. Um, it's Friday night. Friday. Why is it? Oh, okay. Sorry. There you go. All right. So we are live. It's Friday night, February 10. Right now it's 7 p.m. California time. That is 10 p.m. Eastern time. So those of you on the East Coast, you probably already have watched tonight's premiere of episode 5 of The Last of Us series. Why? Why, Rama? Why was it airing on Friday instead of Sunday? Well, because it's Super Bowl weekend. Duh. Those of you who live outside or outside of United States and Canada, those of you, The Last of Us fans from other countries, probably like wondering what the hell is going on? Why are they airing it early? But it's not a bad thing, right? We're not complaining. We get to see the episode early, so that's good. That's good. And as I understand it, they're also going to re-air it again on Sunday. For those of you who can't watch it on Friday, but it's also available on HBO Go, so you can watch it there too. But anyway, I digress. Episode 5 aired tonight, and for those of you in the West Coast, probably not going to be able to watch it until 2 hours from now, but that's fine. We're going to discuss it right now. Episode 5. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Okay, you've been warned. This video contains spoilers. This review of episode 5 is only for those of you who have already watched tonight's episode 5, okay? Those of you who haven't, come back to watch this episode. To watch this video after you watch the episode. So I got my notes on the screen here, so follow along with me. Tonight's episode, it's not all about Henry and Sam, but most of it is about Henry and Sam joining Joel and Ellie. And I tweeted and I posted on my social reaction a few days ago when I screened it a few days ago. I said they provided them joining Joel and Ellie on their journey provided some of this show's heartfelt moments, and I meant that. Tonight we got to see those heartfelt moments. But more than that, it's moments of. Here's the way I put it. You know how last week, or the week before, the past 2 weeks, the past 2 episodes, Joel tried really, really hard to make sure that Ellie maintains her innocent view of life. What I'm getting at is like he kept saying to her like, "You're a kid." I'm paraphrasing, of course. "You're a kid. You're not supposed to see this. You're a kid. You shouldn't be witnessing this." And like last week, when he shot that guy, it's like, "You're a kid. You're not supposed to be put in this situation." He's trying his best to make sure that Ellie stays a kid. And that's what he would have done too if his daughter had still been alive. And so tonight, on tonight's episode, we got to see a glimpse of those moments of Sam and Ellie just being kids. That was amazing. That was sweet, right? That was what I meant by quote unquote heartfelt. We get and Joel and Henry, like, wow, I haven't seen that. I haven't heard that laughter in a while. I haven't seen that joy of being kid. From my brother or from Ellie in a while, and it's for those brief moments. Ellie and Sam were just kids. They forgot the whole shit that's going on in the world, the infected, and they were just being playful, just teasing around like kids do, and that's nice. It's a very humanizing, sweet moment that we get to see from tonight's episode. Okay, but so that's one of the bullet points that I have here. But the episode, of course, started off with Kathleen being absolutely ruthless, dude. She is just cold-blooded. A heartless B word. Can I say bitch? I'll just say bitch. A cold, hard bitch. Okay. Um, She was like, "Okay, you're not gonna tell me where Henry is? Killed him." Oh shit! I mean, like, Kathleen doesn't even go like freaking torture route. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how bad guys will be like, "Okay, let's get them to top. You know, let's waterboard these guys or whatever designs of torture that you could come up with." Villains usually, are used to do. It's like, no, she's like, "Okay, you're not gonna say anything, you know? Okay, you die." Shit, man, that's just so mean, so mean. And even after that guy spilled the beans about where Henry might be, she's still like, make sure you burn the bodies after you kill them. It's easier that way. Oh, dude. And she said it with a straight face, like not thinking like, maybe should I, do I need to do that? What do you think? My right hand man, I think his name is Perry. What do you think? No, she's like, kill him, burn the bodies. I have no need for them anymore. They already told me where Henry might be. Oh, ruthless, ruthless, ruthless. And Melanie Linsky did a fantastic job in this role. Uh, 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 I gotta be honest with you. I know you mentioned Rose from Two and a Half Men. Yes, I remember Melanie Linsky as Rose from Two and a Half Men. Rose is the stocky neighbor of Charlie Sheen's, Charlie Harper, I should say, stocky neighbor Rose. She was fantastic on that show. She was just recurring. She was not a Sears regular. But now I think people are gonna remember her. I think people are gonna remember her more now for the role of Kathleen from this point forward, because this show is so big and so popular now. And she, man, it's such an opposite end from Rose. You know what I'm saying? This is not Rose at all. This is Melanie Linsky, unlike anything you've seen her before. Like not like anything that she's ever done, and she knocks it out of the park. Kathleen's story about her brother. Obviously, Henry did something to Kathleen's brother. Um, we didn't get to see that. There was no flashback. Okay, especially non-gamer fans like me. I mean, like, what's going on? It left me kind of confused. Like, what's happening or what happened to her brother? But her backstory, or like her telling the story of her brother, is not necessarily about what happened as much as it's more about how her brother made her feel. That she didn't feel alone when he was around. And that was another moment too of humanizing a bad guy, Kathleen, this ruthless villain. For a brief moment, you kind of sort of empathize, feel for her loss. Um, and you remember, Kathleen is not a game. It's not a character from the game. It's a character that's created directly for this show, and so you have these questions, but at the same time, instead of the show giving you all those answers, the show's just giving you this moment where, like, oh, she's human. She's a bad guy, but just like any human, a bad guy or good guy, they feel loss, they feel pain, they miss their loved ones. That's something anybody can relate to. So that's another sweet moment, if you will, from tonight's episode. There's a lot of those, including like I said earlier, about Sam and Ellie being kids. Um, I know. We'll get to the infected attacking. I get that. Okay. But I also want to discuss a little bit about Henry. I have a friend who plays the Last of Us game, so she's been like filling me in on some of the details that may not be on the show, because the show, obviously, as you know, is taking its own route, or taking creative liberties with some of the elements from the game, which I don't mind. I don't think you should be angry about that. If you are gamers who are fans of the Last of Us game, you want the show to have its own DNA. You want the show to have its own, you know, traits, characteristics. You don't want everything to just follow 100% play by play according to the game. Um, And she filled me in that in the game it's all about the spores, but she said that you can't do spores because um, on the show you have to have some drama, you have to have some story, you have to have some, you know, circumstances, you know, some situations, and you know, if you walk around with a gas mask and everybody just gets infected the minute they breathe spores, then it wouldn't be a there would not be a story for a show. I get that. I get that. And another thing that they alter is also Henry and Sam's story. Um, we get to hear about Henry being a collaborator, being some sort of a snitch. We get to hear about Henry may have done something to Kathleen's brother, but the show doesn't want to delve too deep into that. Doesn't want to dwell too much into that, and so they just give you just enough for you to care about Henry and Sam before they take that away. They snatch that away at the end. As you know, the at the end, freaking Sam got infected, and Henry. You know what happened if you watched tonight's episode. It was heartbreaking. Prior to the show premiering um, in January, I had heard from the showrunner. I think from I forgot what outlet it was. He kept saying that the word that he kept saying was heartbreaking. There's gonna be a lot of heartbreaking situations or stuff or moments in the Last of Us show, and we got to see that with the Bill and Frank moment. Okay, the episode 3, the ending was kind of heartbreaking, right? Sweet, sweet, romantic, beautiful episode, but they end up on a suicide pact, if you will. So there's bittersweet, heartbreaking, and tonight we get to see another one with Sam and Henry. And you know what? How do I feel about that? I think I'm okay with that. It seems that the show is adamant about taking some of these characters from the video games and not make them last. You know what I'm saying? And not make them survive past one episode or 2 episodes for the case of Kathleen. So they're like, okay, we're gonna give you this. We're gonna make you care about them, and then we're gonna snatch these guys away. And I think I'm cool with that. It just because it hits you hard, you know, because you're thinking like, oh man, you're getting your hopes up. Oh man, we're gonna see Henry and Sam for hopefully multiple episodes, multiple arcs. You're like, oh my god, gonna be journeying on together. You know, with journeying on together with Joel and Ellie. But nope, 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 nope. Ha ha. Got you looking, right? Got you hoping, huh? And I don't mind that because you know Bill and Frank only having one episode, Henry and Sam only having one episode, Kathleen only having 2 episodes. It just goes to show that it emphasizes it stresses the seriousness of the situation that or the world that Joel and Ellie are in. This is post-apocalyptic world where not everybody will survive, and apparently not everybody will survive past one episode. it's it hits Joel and Ellie hard, you know, with Bill and Frank gone, well, with Henry and Sam gone, the way they died, you know, they have to be reminded over and over again that caring for somebody or getting to know somebody has its risk. You know, sharing your story or hearing the story of somebody else has its risk because that person that you hang about with may not be there tomorrow. And so it's a harsh reality. The reason why I think the show wants to go that route, you know, not having some of the supporting characters last, so that the harsh reality will always sink in with or for Joel and Ellie. You know, so like they could stay on their mission, not get distracted, and that they could be frequently reminded that this is a shitty world that they're in. You know, they just have to keep moving. And you know, the other thing that I like about this method or approach is that uh, you get to be on track. Joel and Ellie stay on track of what they, keep their eyes on the prize. They got to go to Wyoming, and it's I like that because comparing that to The Walking Dead. Remember The Walking Dead? How the writers let Rick Grimes let Negan live. I forgot which season that was. They had this big fight out of many many fights that they had. They had a big climactic fight up on the hill, and Rick Grimes got the upper hand, and he's about to kill Negan, and he let Negan live. And I was like, why? And then Negan stayed living for many, many more seasons after that. And it's just like, oh, damn you! Negan killed Glenn, killed all these people. Batting like, oh, why you gotta make him the good guy? I get it. It's a redemption arc, but it's just such a blue balls thing to do. You make us hate Negan so much, and then you take that the satisfaction of revenge away from us, the audiences. I was like, no. so so I'd rather have this style, where the characters come and go in within just 1 or 2 episodes, rather than like milking them through multiple episodes for no reason whatsoever. Um, I hate that. So that's another reason why I like their style. Okay, so let's talk about the attack. The infected attacking. The scene where they're bursting out of the ground. All the clickers just like attacking both the hunters and Henry, Sam, and Ellie, and then freaking Joel was like sniping from up above. That was just amazing scene. I love it. Very suspenseful, very pulse pounding, especially when Ellie's like getting in the car and trying to get out of the car, trying to get away from the clicker, and you could see how um, as Ellie's running away from the clickers, freaking Joel is like sniping or shooting the clickers behind her one by one, and he's this. That was badass, man. That was like a sharpshooter Joel badass, man. um, but we also got to see the bloater. How do you know that, Rama? Oh, I Google it. Okay, thank you so much. Bloater is this big, bloated freaking infected. I guess the way I see it in Google here, it says it's the rarest, the fourth stage, the most dangerous stage of the infected. Um, it takes years to develop into become a bloater. To reach this stage, it takes years of exposure to the cordyceps brain infection. That's what it says here. So that's what you saw, the big fella that comes out of the ground. You kind of like, ruling over all the rest of them. Kind of like this ugly looking motherfucker just coming out of the ground with shroom coming out of his head. That's a bloater. But the way the Google says here, it says the bloater appears in both. I'm sorry, it appears on both games, The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2. So okay, so we got to see that tonight, and it looks great. You got to give props to, I'm guessing, the makeup department and the prosthetics department, and whoever plays that bloater. He looks scary. He looks so scary. And these motherfuckers, they run fast too. Like they're sprinters. You know what I'm saying? The bloater not so much, but the other ones, whoo! Like that one tiny clicker that just jumped at Kathleen. That was scary. I think that's the same clicker that was like going after Ellie, right? Scary. So tonight is like a mix of scary and heartfelt, scary and warm moments, scary and humanizing moments. And I think this is the scariest episode so far. Scarier than when Tess, Joel, and Ellie encountered the clickers in that one building. I think it's episode 2. So terrifying. As ruthless as Kathleen is on this episode, the clickers or the infected were more horrifying than Kathleen. Um, let's see what else. I think that's it. Those are all the bullet points that I have. I can't wait to see next week's episode. that's going to air back on Sunday. Returning to air on Sunday. Oh, I just want to say, I hate tunnels. I know these are not regular tunnels; it's service tunnels. Um, but tunnels in general, man, I never liked them because if you if you have a traffic jam in there in the tunnel, you're stuck. You can't go in and out. You can't make a turn left or turn right. And in a post-apocalyptic world, stuck in a tunnel means you're dead. Depending on who you encounter, either the bad guys or the clickers. Either way, tunnels suck. Um, but let's see, what else do I have in my notes? That's it. Those are all. Oh, lastly, I want to comment on this. Okay, I want to show you this. Last week, after the episode aired, this lady. Let me give you this. Where do we go? Oh, here it is. Apparently, she's a model. Her name is Adrian Curry. You can look her up. She's pretty beautiful. She is a model. And apparently she got it in her head thinking like, huh. She commented on Melanie Linsky's picture, but she's actually commenting about Melanie Linsky on The Last of Us. Adrian says her body says life of luxury, not post-apocalyptic war world. Where is Linda Hamilton when you need her? So basically, Adrian is criticizing Melanie's body because basically, if you read between the lines, what she's trying to say is like, hey, how come, this is not the type of body you see in a post-apocalyptic world, you know? In a post-apocalyptic world, there's not a lot of food going around, You would be skinnier if you in a post-apocalyptic world. That's basically what she's implying. And you can make that argument, like, yeah, you don't eat much. Like tonight's episode, they only eat like very little. Joel, Ellie, and Sam and Henry. So yeah, technically you would gain weight. But these are all hypotheticals, guys. These are all these are all hypotheticals. We are not in a post-apocalyptic world. We'll never know, whether or not we get food or we have storage of food. If we were to be in a post-apocalyptic, these are all just hypotheticals. These are assumption, based on oh yeah, everybody's gonna be rationing food. So how come? So anyway, Melanie Linsky pushback. She said, firstly, this is a photo from my cover shoot for InStyle magazine, not a still from HBO's The Last of Us. I'm playing a person who meticulously planned and executed an overthrow of Fedra. I'm supposed to be smart, ma'am. I don't need to be muscly. That's what henchmen are for. And of course, she has a henchman on the show. Good on Melanie for pushing back. I think that's fair. That's fair. If somebody talks shit about me, if somebody talks shit about me, I'll push back. I could ignore them, and that's fine too. But I could decide to push back, and there's nothing wrong with that. And it clearly Melanie had to do that because it hit kind of a nerve, understandably so. But this reminds me of, what this reminds me of? Do you remember the series Lost? Do you remember the character Hurley, played by Jorge Garcia, the big fella? Hurley. And after 3-4 seasons, people are like, how come Hurley's still fat on the island? Like, really? Why is he still big? That was like the thing back then. And it was like the outrage back then in the I don't think there was Twitter was just like in infant stage. There was not even Twitter back then. But people are like, how come Hurley's like still fat? Like Hurley's not losing any weight. And I'm like, yeah, I guess technically that would make sense, but then that's a hypothetical. And number two, why does it bother you so much? Why does it bother you if Hurley's big or skinny? Like, some people would criticize a show or criticize a character based on the substance of the show, based on the substance of the character, or would criticize the performance, right? Of an actor, of an actress, you know. And some people and some other people, they would criticize based on nitpicking. Nitpicking the technical stuff, like, oh, in that world, the smartphone wouldn't do that, or like, oh my God, there's a freaking car on the background of the Lord of the Rings. Some people do that. Some people criticize not based on substance, but they criticize based on looks, based on superficiality, based on like the little technicalities, as opposed to let's think a little deeper, let's think more analytical. But I get it, so not everybody could do that. So everybody, would see what's on the outside first. That's we're natural as human beings. We see the outside appearance first. And to this Adrian Curry, she's that's what she thinks. She's seeing the outside appearance of Melanie Linsky, and it doesn't fit her view of what post-apocalyptic world's a person should be like or should look like. Just like the fans of the Lost series, like, how come Hurley's still big? Like, that doesn't make sense. If I was Hurley, I would like be starving. I'd be like losing. So that the outside appearance is like the first line that they're seeing. I get it. But I challenge you to dig deeper. You can criticize Melanie Linsky's performance as Kathleen. Maybe you think that she's maybe not the right fit for the role. Maybe you think she's not ruthless enough. I think she was. And that would be fair game. But like, again, the thing is, Adrian Curry says apocalyptic warlord. Okay, she's the leader. She's the warlord. Lord, hence Lord, right? That means she gets all the food, right? That means all her henchmen and all her subordinates, whatever, minions, they would prioritize their leader to make sure their leader gets the first dips of food and everything, right? Luxury, comfort, her own space, her own, living quarters, whatever you want to call it, right? So it kind of makes sense if you wanna use that logic, from outside appearance. It kind of makes sense that she looks the way she does. She's being the leader and everything. She gets, the top of the food chain, right? So there you go, Adrian Curry. I just dismantled your argument right there. But anyway, that's it. That's the last point I want to make. Another fantastic episode. Those of you on the West Coast, oh, there's my notes. I got my notes on the screen. See, I got my notes right here. Those of you on the West Coast, we'll be watching The Last of Us episode 5 soon enough. Hope you enjoy it, and make sure you come back to this video and see whether or not you agree with me or my assessment of tonight's episode 5. And those of you who have seen tonight's episode, let me know your thoughts as well. Did you like episode 5? What did you not? If you didn't like it, what did you not like about it? Be specific. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And what do you hope to see would happen on next week on episode 6? Let me know your thoughts. All right, and subscribe. Let's rock this.